Hey, Flimsy Lunch Tray with a special Tuesday video for you here today in World of Warships in Okinawa in domination mode. Now, for those of you who are subscribed and hang around the channel, you know that I tend to just do videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. But I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and yesterday's video was a rather short video. Which, even though it was I think less than 2 minutes, I probably spent about 2 hours working on it because I was figuring out some animation things that I've not done before with the face movement and how the ships moved on the screen. So it's a bit of a new territory, kind of working to expand my skills as a video content creator, if you will. But today I wanted to talk about I'm not sure how to phrase it yet, but probably the way I would sum it up is to keep fighting when you're in a game. Not to give up even when it seems like you're going to lose no matter what you do, when the odds are stacked against you, because those are the battles that can sometimes be the ones that I would say, you know, jingles worthy as an example. That's up for jingles to decide, but you know, it's just a video that's like, whoa, like a battle where you're just like, I can't believe that happened. Like, that was just crazy, right? Now, this was a video or battle that happened back in April. So at that point in time, we didn't have submarines. They were out of the game for the time being. Very thankful for that. And of course, now they're back. But this is just a game we're talking about, which you'll see towards the end, of not giving up until either the battle ends or you're dead. That type of thing. I do notice that players, just because things aren't going their way on a flank, they just like, maybe they just get angry, salty in chat, and they're just like, screw it, like, I'm done. I'm not going to help you guys anymore. You all should have done better. That type of thing, right? So it's kind of being the salty at a loss when you don't feel like your team's cooperating. And I think part of the challenge in World of Warships, well, there's a lot of challenges, but a lot of it has to evolve around playing around your team, right? Even when your team doesn't make those ideal positions that you think or know will help have a greater chance of success, greater chance of victory in the game. When you sometimes just want to beat your head against the wall, wondering why they're maybe not performing or positioning a certain way, that you have to play around them, and that, in the sense, is where I guess the word teamwork comes in. And that's something I've been noticing, just, I don't know, I guess the longer I play in World of Warships or become more of a seasoned player, of how often you're trying to work around your team, support your team. I had a battle last week when I was in Friesland, and I was bottom tier versus, you know, tier 10s, super ships. And there wasn't much I was able to do because of radar, how the flank was working out, submarines moving around, even though I tried to push in and kill a submarine, but it didn't work. So then I had to resort to just supporting my friendly Des Moines. I dropped a smoke for him. He was out in the open taking on, I think it was Sovietsky Soyuz, and I smoked him up. His smoke fire penalty was good. He was undetected while I did the spotting for him, which sadly enough you don't get rewarded for spotting in World of Warships, or in World of Tanks I believe you do. And then I played bait against the enemy booster. I opened up against enemy booster who had ran away, came back, and I presented this nice side target and began to angle away, and the booster fell for the temptation of wanting to get all of his guns onto me, and Des Moines just slapped him with that armor piercing and wrecked him with citadels. And so even that was a game that I had only 11,000 damage, which is really sad in a Friesland, but playing the role of being a supportive teammate, right? And that's hard to do, right? Because you want to be the one to have the damage, you want to be the one to have the kills, but then when it doesn't work out, you know, how do you support your team? Even when things aren't working out well for you. And in the sense, getting at the topic of, you know, don't give up until the fight is over, right? So even the last month, you've seen me throw a couple videos up. Well, you would think, I mean, even I could think that There's no way. There's no way I'm playing this ranked match in the Prinz Heinrich. And it's me 1 versus 5. And I killed the rest of the 5 enemy teams. I killed every single ship that match to win. The one on Friday in the Amagi, ranked 1 Amagi versus 3 destroyers. You know, that is a situation I should just be screwed. And even though in that chat, in the battle, I typed GG, didn't mean I was going to give up the fight. I was going to keep fighting. I was going to try to get the win, but I saw a small chance of success. But you keep fighting and you keep up the fight until the match is over or until you're dead, right? And I think that's been frustrating for a lot of players in World of Warships. I'm probably a little bit more antagonistic in the sense of playing even random specifically right now in World of Warships. Some of you know I shared, last week was probably my most miserable week ever in playing ranked in World of Warships, where I was rocking in the last 7 days a 42% run rate, which is, terrible when it's normally like 60%. And then I checked it before recording this video, where now it's, I think 51%, so I'm getting it up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of players, I'm sorry if this is more of me rambling in this video, where it's just like you get really frustrated with your teammates, right? And you just want to give up, throw in the towel, where you don't feel frustrated with the game, and you're just like, screw it, I'm going to log off. Matchmaking is terrible tonight, I'm getting terrible teams, or however that goes. So this is a battle where this is an example of keeping up the fight, even when things don't seem well. Now, we're only down 1 ship at this point to the enemy team, and we're just barely behind on points because we have 2 caps, and one's being contested right now. As we pick up the Osterland, not entirely sure if that's how you pronounce it, here in the Tashkent. And the Tashkent is a really good tier 9 destroyer. I think in this battle I only had a maybe 17-point commander, so I didn't have the extended range, which I think gets you up to 15.2 kilometers. And that actually would have helped me at the end of this battle, which you'll see why. But Tashkent is, I think, a pretty good destroyer. Now, from my understanding, the Tashkent received several buffs, where previously it was known as the Trash Cant, because it was so bad. But the buffs brought her back online in being more of a reasonable destroyer. I was looking up on the Tashkent, and this destroyer was a flotilla leader intended to perform long-range reconnaissance duties within squadrons and support destroyers' torpedo attacks. She was built in Italy for the USSR Navy, Project 2OI, I believe it is, during World War II, and she was one of the fastest warships in the world and the largest ship of this type, and was basically nicknamed a blue cruiser, despite being a destroyer due to her being larger than a contemporary destroyer, alluding to her historical paint being cobalt blue. And that is the fun thing with the Tashkent. Not only does it really have great guns, it has great range, but also has torpedoes that have a really short reload time, which you're going to see me using here. I've been trying to land torpedoes on this enemy Ragnar, as with his, I believe Ragnar gets heals. I don't have Ragnar yet, but that's the next steel ship I believe I'm going for. It's a very tough target to take out, especially with the armor belt that the the Ragnar has along the side of the ship. And so I'm more than willing to take on this fight. We've used only 1 repair party so far. I don't do smokescreen with the Russian destroyer line. I much prefer the heals. It's rather funny when you pick up dreadnoughts in World of Warships and a destroyer. As Ragnar wants to go dark because he's getting really low on health. Our CV is keeping him spotted right now. But as soon as the CV finishes his attack, the Ragnar is unfortunately going to go dark as I try to get some additional blind spots here. There's a Yugumo in the bottom of Bravo, and I'm going to fake the Yugumo out here, where I'm actually going to go dark. I'm going to go ahead and sail behind this island, making it look like I'm leaving, that I'm going to disengage from this flank. But as soon as I go dark, I immediately hit reverse, and we're going to come back because I think that Yugumo is going to come back out around the island. And I'd like to, if the Ragnar is foolish enough to chase me, but I don't think he's going to. So here you can see our CV picks up the enemy Yugumo, which is fantastic. And the enemy Yugumo decides to still push out even though he's lit. So both myself and my ally Hindenburg, we can both end up focusing in on him here and taking him out as he takes a pretty good hit there. And that smoke screen is way too late. So we're going to be able to pick up a kill there. So we've lost that flank over at Charlie. One of the things you have to realize and know as a player is when your flank is gone and you can no longer fight for it. As much as I would want to stay there and fight longer, it just, things weren't going together. When you saw our friendly Kagero, which I was trying to get for him to back off as enemy team was pushing on him, unfortunately died. So it's only just 4 of us left. With the Tashkent, as I was talking about these torpedo quick cooldown reload time on the torpedoes, and it actually has decent range. You can actually stealth torpedo, as these are 9-kilometer torpedoes, and that's what we're going to try to go for here on these battleships as they push in. As I'm deciding, do I want to launch torpedoes down the gap? Do I want to do it off to the side over here? And this is a match where, yep, we've lost. We definitely do not have map control here by any means. And it looks like things are not going to work out for us here. Again, hitting at the fact that even though that's what it looks like, we're not going to give up. We're going to keep fighting here. So we got Schlieffen there off in distance, but he's disengaging, which means I won't be able to throw torpedoes at him as I back off a bit more here. There's something else I was wanting to say here, but I don't quite remember what that was. So, again, apologies if this is just more of a rambling Tuesday video, but I don't know. It's good to talk. Oh, that's the thing I was wanting to say. For myself, before the Commander rework of 10.0 that happened last year, I played mostly battleships. I didn't play destroyers too much of the time. But now the way the game has gone more and more, especially after the Commander rework, I started playing destroyers much more. And I think destroyers is probably the class I feel the most comfortable with, depending on what destroyer we're talking about, because some destroyers just, they don't do good in the current meta of World of Warships. But when you play a destroyer, it oftentimes feels like you have much more control of the match and what's happening here. As we pick up our 3rd kill here. But it often feels like you're able to have much more control. You can control more the influence of the battle, especially when, you know, for example, let's say there's no more enemy destroyers left on enemy team. You have the concealment advantage over the enemy team. Now, of course, if there's an aircraft carrier in play, like an FDR, which is going to light us a lot in this the remainder of the battle, it's just not going to work out well for us, right? We're always going to be lit. And that is nice to have the repair party. In this instance, you know, maybe you're thinking, you know, Flimsy, why wouldn't you say smoke? Well, here in the Tashkent, it doesn't bother me too much because I have the engine boost and I'm fast. Maybe the maneuverability, rudder shift time is not the best, but I can work to make things happen here. So I just think destroyers have that advantage over all the other classes in the game. When you find yourself down and out in situations like this, unless you're facing potato players that just end up throwing their ship away. Now I was trying to keep my guns focused to see if Ragnar would decide to reveal himself, but he is electing to stay dark. And because I'm just permalit by the FDR planes, I'm going to go ahead and open up on the enemy Yoshino here. Because I want to set him on fire, which we get 2 fires. Or I think we had 2 fires going there. And I'm wanting him to burn his damage control party, basically, is what I'm going for here. Because I know he's probably going to be pushing into me, and our torpedoes are 10 seconds away from reloading, and we're going to throw torps at him. So, also, you know, trying to figure out where the planes are, I'm looking over my shoulder into A, see if the Ragnar is going to start opening up on me, because I'd really like to take care of the Ragnar if possible. And now he starts shooting at me as he just became lit on the mini-map. But we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep throwing a lot of shells towards this enemy Yoshino. The Ragnar did pick a good time to open up because he gets to use the islands to fire at me for free now. But we've already passed over 2 million potential damage in this situation. Or it's, it's 1 versus 5. But that enemy Schlieffen is low, and he's coming around the north side of the island, so that's another reason why after the planes went away, I wanted to go dark here. Just kind of evaluate what's happening here, even though I need to get kills in order to be able to pull off a win here. But we're running low on time with how the match is going. Those torpedoes are looking decent. I'm going to show my side to the FDR. That's ideally how you want to be able to take on dive bombers, is in showing your side. And we get 3 torpedo hits and 2 floodings, and I think that's actually 2 perma floodings because we caused him to burn his damage control party. Here's the Schlieffen. The Schlieffen is a very scary battleship to take on a destroyer because of how fast those secondaries reload. But he's so low and we don't really have a choice, but we really need to finish him off and kill him here, despite putting ourselves at risk here. And picking up the double strike and Kraken Unleashed in general offensive. Yes, rather fun, right? So this is, and I wasn't angry with how this battle was coming out. It was more like what you seeing me in chat, I will not go down without a fight, LOL. I was having a good time at this point, even though this is quite looking like in being a loss. But even though it looks like a loss, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep fighting no matter how much the odds may be stacked against. That is also, I think it really ties into a mentality thing. Mentally, as a player, how do you approach playing World of Warships right? Because that can really affect the outcome, whether you are able to maybe pull off that clutch win at the end, or, are you just frustrated, blame the team, and nah, I'm not going to even try to fight anymore. This is an example of where the 20-point commander of having that extended range would have been really helpful here. I should have already started firing here at the enemy carrier, but I'm going behind this island, kind of shortening the time before I get lit, possibly. But I really needed to start firing as soon as I saw the CV, and having that range would have enabled me to start opening up even sooner. But unfortunately, we're just not going to have enough time as the battle comes to a close here. So this is a fun battle. There's something in the team score that I think is rather funny. I like how you get these type of surveys after a battle like this, So the double strike, that's not common to pick up for myself. But we got 5 destroyed, we got Kraken Unleashed, 1.4 million because we were grinding the Tashkent for the Habarovsk before it went to the armory. 130,000 damage with 8 set on fires and 6 torpedoes for a destroyer that is kind of the gunboat. What is hysterical to me here is we look at top of the team. Our GK picked up 4 kills between 2 of 12 members on our team. We picked up 9 kills between 2 of us. So it's like, if our team could have only between the other 10 of them picked up those 3 kills, right? Not that I'm necessarily throwing shade at my clan members that were divisioned with me in this battle. Siyong was a bit of a struggle in playing because of the short range and having to get close in and so forth. But you get to see the damage layout and what we do here, and actually getting 3.4 million potential damage in the Tashkent. CV really contributed, I think, a bit to that, spotting us, trying to get some rocket strikes off onto us, having Ragnar, Yoshino, and the secondaries all flying in at us. Oh yeah, and the devastating strike, I forgot to pick that one up in this battle as well. So I guess apologies if it felt I was a bit more rambling on in this video. Pretty chilled. I've had a really good day. And I just wanted to share this video with you because I felt like the other video was short. And I wanted to give you guys, or treat you guys and gals, to another unexpected video for today. Because I think you're just great and just been really enjoying the FLT community and being able to do some more polls and different ways of engaging with all of you. So with that being aside, if you are a World of Warships player and you're kind of struggling with the mentality of the game, it could be that you need to take a break from the game. Maybe the game's not for you. Not that I'm wishing you away from the game or anything like that. I'm still enjoying the game despite the frustrations with the game that occur every so often. But it really comes to the mentality. How do you as a player put yourself, versus putting the blame on other players in the game. You know, sometimes, yes, teammates do make mistakes. They cost you the game, those type of things. But despite that, you know, what can you as a player do to improve, right? The player that has that mentality of, you know, how can I become better at this game? And they start with themselves rather than looking at their teammates and blaming them constantly. That is a player that's going to be able to improve, carry matches more often, have a higher personal rating, win rating, however you want to look at that. And ultimately, it's probably the player that's going to have more fun, even possibly enjoying the game, playing it, even for what it is, even though it's not perhaps the most ideal situation right now, I would say, in Warships. I don't know, maybe it would be a different video on that sometime. But don't give up. Keep fighting, right? Applies to a lot of things in life. So if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I have done an upgrading commander build on the Tashkent, so I'll throw that here at the end of the video as well. And also, I'll throw up another video suggestion on having maybe more of a Unicum mentality in approaching the game. So until next time, take care.